Valentine's Day was supposed to be a celebration of love, but for me, it will always be a reminder of the day my heart was broken. My name is Crystal, and this is my story. I had always believed in love, the kind that was pure, peaceful, and filled with warmth. Maybe I had watched too many romance movies, read too many fairy tales, or listened to too many love songs, but deep down, I believed that when love found me, it would be special. Then I met Jay. Jay wasn't just any guy, he was the kind of guy everyone in my neighborhood talked about. Tall, charming, and effortlessly confident. He had a way of making every lady feel like she was the only one in the world. I had heard stories about him. How he was the heartbreaker of our area. How he had a reputation for getting what he wanted and moving on. But I ignored the warnings. For months, he pursued me. He'd show up where I least expected, flash his perfect smile, and tell me how beautiful I was. He called me his dream girl, the one he had been waiting for. I resisted at first, unsure if his intentions were true. But slowly, his persistence broke down my walls. I started to believe that maybe, I was special to him. That maybe, he really did love me. So, after weeks of hesitation, I gave in. I became his girlfriend. At first, everything seemed perfect. Jay was attentive, always texting and calling, always making me laugh. He'd invite me home, cook for me, and tell me how lucky he was to have me. But as the days passed, something changed. The sweet words came with expectations. If you really love me, you'll show it, he'd say, his voice soft but insistent. I knew what he meant. He wanted more, and I know you understand too. I told him I wasn't ready. I wanted to wait till marriage. But he didn't stop. Every time we argued, it came back to the same thing. You say you love me, but you don't act like it. What's the point of a relationship if we can't be intimate? Other girls do it for their boyfriends, why can't you? The words chipped away at me, and I started doubting myself. Questioning if I was being unfair, if love truly required proof. Then Valentine's Day approached. Jay planned something special for us, a romantic evening at his place. Just the two of us, he said, his voice filled with excitement. It'll be a night to remember. It was there that I made my decision. If this was what it took to make Jay happy, if this was what it took to keep him forever, then I would do it. When I arrived at his place, the setting was perfect. The dim glow of candles flickered across the room, casting soft shadows on the walls. A table was set with a beautiful dinner, soft music played in the background, filling the air with a sense of romance. You can imagine how I felt at the sight of this lovely gesture. Maybe this wasn't a mistake. Maybe Jay truly loved me. We ate, we laughed, we talked about our future, how our home will be filled with love and lots of kids. He held my hand across the table, his eyes warm and full of affection. Jay had me falling in love with him over and over again. Then, as the night deepened, he brought up the conversation. I hesitated, my heart pounding. But this time, I didn't fight it. I nodded. If this is what will make you happy, I whispered. A victorious smile spread across his face as he leaned in to kiss me. Slowly, he led me to his room. His hands moved gently, carefully, as he whispered sweet words into my ear. And before I knew it, I had given myself to him. I had surrendered. Just then, everything shattered. The moment it was over, Jay sat up suddenly, a wicked grin stretching across his face. Boys, come out and hand me my money, he shouted. I told you I'd get her by hook or crook. At first, I didn't understand. Then, from the corner of the room, the door creaked open, and a few of Jay's friends stepped out, laughing. They clapped, whistled, and shoved money into Jay's hands. "Man, I didn't think you could do it," one of them said, grinning. "You actually got her," another laughed. I felt my heart stop. Jay turned to me, his eyes devoid of the warmth they once held. He smirked. "Sorry, girl, I couldn't resist the money. I really enjoyed tonight, though," he said, while stuffing the cash into his pocket. The room spun around me. The laughter echoed in my ears. My body felt numb. I was totally confused and lost in my thoughts. I had been a game to Jay. A bet. Everything, the sweet words, the promises, the affection, all of it had been fake. I couldn't breathe. Shame and humiliation crushed my chest as I got up to leave, covering myself with the sheets. How could Jay do this to me? I ran as fast as I could, my vision blurred by tears, my heart shattered into a million pieces. That night, I cried myself to sleep, the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. The pain was unbearable. I felt used, broken, worthless. It's been 4 years since that night, but the scars remain. I haven't been able to trust anyone since then. Every time a guy gets close, I hear Jay's voice in my head. If you really love me, you'll prove it. I feel the laughter. The shame. The humiliation. I don't know if I'll ever be able to love again, or to trust again, because Jay was my first, and he hurt me so much. But there is one thing I know for sure. I will never let another person define my worth. Never again.